It's a time for another package from China. Of course, it's going to be a China stuff, but we're going to talk about the mini arcade machines I picked up here at my local shop. So let's go. But okay, so when you're looking at these arcade machines, I have reviewed so many here on the channel. But the question remains, what are we going to get with ones from the local shops? Are they worth picking up, or is this something you just need to avoid? Yeah, let's take a close look at that. So the first one that we're going to take a close look at is this version. It is let's say, a typical, mini arcade we have reviewed here on the channel before that I bought from AliExpress. But this one comes with homebrew games or like rip-off games, because this has like this weird 8-bit. But do you know what's kind of funny about these things? When you're looking through the games, you find these weird names, but when you're actually going to play them, you will notice familiar games. The electronic arcade game. The question remains, is it worth picking up? Take consideration is like this product I'm showing you here is basically bought by myself in the local shop called the HEMA. Yeah, it's like this, you know, like Dutch names pronouncing in English is kind of weird. But in the end, like, this is a shop that sells all kinds of things, but that also like trying to sell some mini arcade machines. I already mentioned before, like, we have like a lot of homebrew games, or sometimes we do have like these 8-bit rip-off games, and that's I think the most interesting one. It would not be the first one of, let's say, weird products that I found and that can have able to play some old school games, like an old school pinball from Nintendo, but only with a completely different layout. What are we going to get inside the box? I think nothing really interesting or special. We got this like the very thick manual. Like, funny thing is, like, no toilet paper manuals today. We're going to get this very extended manual because that's, of course, they sell it in Europe, so you need to have like a lot of different languages. I think they also sell it in all kinds of parts of Europe. I'm curious like how far it will go. Alright, so you can see in the sticker this has been imported or specially made for the HEMA. So this is not your typical one you can find on AliExpress, or basically with this skin and this form factor. I think there was one or two of them from AliExpress, these mini arcade ones that have like built-in lithium batteries or the option to add one, but this is kind of weird. Like, all of the ones I'm finding in my country here, they always have like only the battery compartment option. The on switch is over here, so let's plug it back in. I personally really hate that tiny screw. Alright, let's power it on. Ah, there it goes. Alright, the old school menu that I've seen many times before. Alright, so the first thing I've noticed with this mini arcade, we do get like a different game list. It comes with the famous 201, we have seen it many times before. The names makes no sense. There's not like a word or a certain, like, say, name you're thinking, hey, this looks familiar to Mario or Donkey Kong or something like that. No, they're like all those weird names, like just Frog Prince, more like, okay, is it the same game? Like Doggy saying over there. But nope, so far I can see there are no licensed games. Everything is like homebrew made or like weirdly like abused or destroyed, because some games are like looking on something but it isn't. Yeah, so I'm not going to look into every single game because there are way too many of them. I did found one of the games, and the most interesting thing about it, this game called Tracker or something like that, but it's absolutely this motor racing game. I think it was just motocross on the NES. I've played this game a lot. You have like your normal, like, say, acceleration and your turbo mode. Yeah, we can see over there that red bar is filling up. That means basically that we need to stop accelerating, otherwise we're going to overheat the engine. But it's exactly the same game, only with a different layout or a skin. So when playing, I've noticed like this is absolutely horrible quality. Look at this. When basically like moving the joystick, you can see the buttons are moving also. And it is absolutely horrible. Like, you can just feel the buttons moving when you're pressing them. Oh boy. Okay, so it's absolutely like garbage when it comes to the quality. And I must say, like, that's a hit or miss with these mini arcades. I did like reviewed a lot of them, and I've noticed like some of them were pretty damn good of quality, but this one is absolutely garbage. Let's try a different game, and I would not be surprised that we're actually going to get the same rip-off stuff that we've seen before. I have never seen this game before, so it's not a Gradius or something like that, but I would not be surprised this is actually like a rip-off game again. But when I was looking into the game list, I found one particular game that is called Future Copter. But it's actually like the tank game, like Tank that I've seen many times on the NES. I think it's pretty damn cool that they put in these weird games, but they're actually like rip-off from original ones. And yep, they even use the original sound effects. And the same story applies to this game I just randomly found. It's the 1943. Yep, that game. It even has the weird glitches up the top. Oh man, it's really naughty. But let's do a quick teardown and let's see what we're going to get in the inside. I cannot do this always because some of the mini arcades have a sticker over the two shells and I don't want to ruin the machine itself. But it's actually quite interesting to see how, let's say, less of a product there is inside. We're only having like a tiny speaker over here, an on-off switch, and then of course we're having at the left side the mainboard, ribbon cable and the control panel. So there's nothing much in the inside. And again, the doggy agrees. Alright, so here we do have like the main board, and I can tell you like this thing will contain like a black box which contains everything like the games. There's even like some foam between the display and the main board itself, but that's basically it what you're going to get in the inside. Of course the ribbon cable, and then we do have like the control board for the input. Alright, so let's take a close look at this 2022 model. I have seen this before, and I mean like I have checked out a lot of these Chinese ones or AliExpress ones, but the form factor, this is nothing really brand new. I have seen it, let's say, many years before I'm making this video. Here we do got Pickle Rick, or I'm just going to call it Pickle Rick. But yeah, the overall quality of the machine is similar like the ones I've reviewed back in the day. But also the game quality is going to be different, and that is I think the most interesting part about this. Okay, so at the same time I picked up the other version. I'm guessing this is the newer version because they all have like this kind of a logo or theme going on. And I must say that I was quite surprised to see this model. I have seen it before myself. Yeah, hey you, play game, yes or no. I really love the art on it. It looks like a little Pickle Rick. That's the thing that I need to look at this thing. Look at him, like with his cool sunglasses. Hey you, play a game, yes or no. Alright, so what are we going to get? We're going to get ourselves the toilet paper manual again. But this one is the Deluxe European edition, because they need to give you a manual that explains how everything works, different languages, etc, etc. So there's a big one. Wow, it looks like a freaking poster. Need to put on your wall. But okay, I will explain you a little bit how it works. So basically what you're going to get here is Pickle Rick. I'm just going to say it's Pickle Rick over here. So the layout is different. We do get the on-off switch now at the side, but do have like the battery compartment, so that's the same. So let's open it up. I think we need to have like the same amount of batteries in the inside. 3 AA batteries, yep, there is. But also there is no option for lithium battery. So let's put the batteries in. I'm using the A4s from the Action. They're pretty damn good quality for the money you're paying for it. I want to give you an example, like with this model we cannot do a teardown, or I need to destroy the full cabinet and the stickers. I'm not going to do that. I think it's a little bit of a bummer if you do so. But basically this is what we're going to get with this model. Different shape, a shape that I did see before with different stickers. Yeah, so it's quite interesting. Another thing is interesting that this thing comes with a logo with HEMA in it. That is something I've never seen before. The control panel is similar to all the other ones I've reviewed, also the one from AliExpress. We do get AB, there's no turbo button, volume control, start, pause, reset, and the joystick of course. I would say the feel itself is quite cheap. The same goes for the joystick, nothing really special. But I can say like, you can play actually some games on this. But it does have the same amount of games, but I can tell you it's a different list. So we do have like the F-22, that is more like a shmup. I really like it. I think this is most the closest thing to an arcade game. So yeah, absolutely a lot of garbage is on this machine. The F-22 makes it right, and I think if you're going to deep dive into the list itself, you will find a couple of them that are even like fun to play. But overall, I personally really prefer the older one, because that one had way better games. Alright, so we do have like 2 machines, but are they like worth picking up? That is something you need to decide. I think the game's quality is okay, there's a lot of crap on it, so they're saying like we have 200 games. It's absolutely not true in my opinion, because most of them are pretty damn crappy. I want to thank you for watching, consider subscribing, hit that little bell, let me know in the comments what you think of this, and it would be great to see you in the next video.